Hi, Arjuna here to do a LuZo review on Marvel's latest offering, The Defenders. What I liked about the show, I loved that finally these four characters finally came together. It was seeing a smaller scale type of Avengers. Stylistically, each Netflix show has a very different style, a color scheme, music, and they really did a nice job blending those together, especially in the early episodes when they're not necessarily all together. While I didn't love the story, I did like partly how the show ended in terms of where it left most of our main characters. Daredevil is obviously dead to the world, except she's actually alive and at a monastery. Jessica Jones is kind of getting back into wanting to be a PI again following the events of the Defenders and the whole Kilgrave situation. Luke Cage is out of jail and back in Harlem, back to be righteous, kind of done with having these past sins that he dealt with in Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. And Iron Fist is finally in a much better place. He's sticking with New York. It's a city, it's a home to defend. While I'm sure Kun Lung will play a role within Iron Fist Season 2, as in where it went and everything like that. Maybe we get to see some of the comic book storylines, like him donning his classic costume, with Daredevil being incapacitated / dead to the world. He takes on the Daredevil mantle. They did a slight little tease of that at the end. My biggest complaints, the biggest problem with some of the other, or all of the other shows, were some of them went on a little too long. This is a show that perhaps could have done with a longer season because you wanted to see the Defenders together longer, with more story, with more camaraderie. Because it was such a tight 8 episodes, it was a very breakneck speed, a lot of action, which is really fun. The story moves along nicely, but you didn't really get that dreaded quote-unquote character development. But a lot of the peripheral side characters within the other 4 shows really get very little screen time. I think one of the biggest culprits of this is Trish from Jessica Jones. She really appears in maybe 2 episodes, 3 episodes, very minimal time, while we know she is the most important supporting character within Jessica Jones. Hopefully now that they've all met each other, we'll see more of them pop up and interact within each other's shows. Didn't love the plot itself. I don't love how the Hand has been depicted within the MCU, within the Netflix shows. Alexandria was a cool villain. I thought she had an interesting background, and they really revealed a lot more about the Hand, specifically who the Five Fingers were. I felt like they really should have spent more time developing each of these Hand characters within the other Marvel shows. They did that with Madame Gal and Bakudo, but Alexandria and the other 2, they didn't, and they kind of become forgettable. Alexandria does get killed by episode 6, which is seen as kind of a shock ending when Elektra kills her and becomes the big bad of the show. The show was about the 4 heroes, and that's when it shined the most. The villain and everything like that was just the way to get them to come together, to interact, to become this pseudo team of defenders. Ultimately, I did like the show. I thought they did a lot of things well. I think there's a lot of improvement. Better story, maybe some more episodes, more fleshed out villains. I would definitely recommend you to watch, if you haven't already, The Defenders Season 1, available on Netflix.